Ever get that feeling, like the internet's kind of been redesigned around you?
Interesting.
Like it all revolves around a certain online shopping giant, just a little too much.
I see. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're diving into today, that Amazon effect everyone's talking
Oh,
about.
right.
Trust me, it goes way deeper than just those tempting Prime deals.
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to uncover how Amazon's influence, how it goes way beyond just clicking add to cart.
Fascinating stuff.
And honestly, it might just change how you shop forever.
It's really captivating how seamlessly Amazon has woven itself into our expectations as consumers.
Yeah.
Even when we're not on their platform, even when we're not directly on Amazon, the effects are still there.
So true.
Subtly shaping how we experience retail.
Okay, so picture this. It's the early 2000s.
Okay.
You're so excited to finally order something online.
Yeah.
And then you basically kiss that package goodbye for the next month, hoping it shows up someday.
Right, the anticipation. Right. But then Amazon comes in with this revolutionary idea. What if you could get what you wanted and fast?
It seems obvious now.
It seems obvious now, but back then, groundbreaking.
Totally.
Completely changed the game.
And then came the 1-2 punch of convenience.
Huh.
One-click ordering and same-day delivery.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't just meet our need for speed, they created it.
Exactly.
Remember what it was like to wait a week for an order. Now we practically get impatient if it's not on our doorstep by dinner.
It's amazing how that completely recalibrated the entire retail industry.
Yeah. Wow.
Suddenly, every other business was scrambling to catch up, right?
Yeah.
Investing in logistics, streamlining their supply chains, all because Amazon shifted consumer expectations so dramatically.
That's true. So faster shipping is just the tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
What else is lurking beneath the surface of this Amazon effect?
Well, think about this. Have you ever been in a store unable to find exactly what you're looking for and just gotten incredibly frustrated?
All the time.
Right. Before Amazon, we kind of accepted the limitations of physical stores.
Right, you had to.
But then Amazon constructs this vast digital marketplace, becomes the ultimate everything store.
They do have everything. It's true. They got everything.
Right.
Although sometimes that can be a bit overwhelming. But you're right. I've totally felt that frustration.
Yeah.
It's like we've internalized this expectation of limitless choice.
Exactly.
Anything less just doesn't cut it.
That frustration, that speaks to a profound psychological shift. Amazon's ability to offer these seemingly endless options, it forced other retailers to completely rethink their approach. Inventory, customer service, the entire shopping experience, really.
Yeah.
Everything.
Okay, so we've got lightning fast shipping and endless options. But we can't forget about the big one, price.
Right.
Amazon's pricing strategies are, legendary. They've created this expectation that everything should be a bargain.
Yeah.
Which, on the one hand, sounds great, but there's always another side to that coin, right?
Absolutely. And this is where the inner workings get even more fascinating, right? We're talking algorithms constantly analyzing competitor prices, market trends, even your individual browsing history.
Wow.
To offer you the most competitive, some might even argue aggressive, deals imaginable.
So it's not just about low prices. It's about using data to strategically undercut the competition. What does that kind of pricing pressure actually do?
Well, for smaller businesses, this can be make or break. Imagine trying to compete with a behemoth like Amazon that can afford to operate on paper-thin margins, sometimes even at a loss, just to gain a larger share of the market.
Right.
It's a double-edged sword, creating incredible pressure to keep prices low. Take the book publishing industry, for example.
It's a tough game when you're up against a company that can constantly adjust prices based on algorithms. But the Amazon effect goes far beyond just how we buy stuff. It even influences how things are made, delivered, and even the technology shaping how we interact with the web.
Absolutely. We can't forget about the supply chain revolution. Amazon's relentless focus on speed forced them to innovate in unprecedented ways. They built massive logistics networks, incorporated robotics into their warehouses, and optimized delivery routes with incredible precision.
It's almost like they created a new blueprint for how companies operate. You know how some things become the gold standard? Amazon almost redefined the entire process.
Exactly. And what's even more mind-blowing is how AI is woven into all of this. It's not just science fiction anymore. This isn't some distant future thing. It's happening right now.
So let's connect the dots here.
Yeah.
We're talking about Amazon using AI, not just for recommending books I might like, but for streamlining their entire operation of it.
Right, precisely. Think about those personalized recommendations you get, the targeted ads you see. It's all powered by AI algorithms analyzing your browsing data, your purchase history, even what other people with similar interests are buying. It's almost like Amazon is trying to anticipate your every need before you even realize you have it.
It's a bit unnerving, but it's also fascinating. It's like Amazon is reading my mind, but not always in a good way. And it's not just them, right? They've set a precedent for how data is used across the board.
You hit the nail on the head. Amazon was a pioneer in using AI for personalization, and now that they're a dominant force, their methods have been adopted by countless businesses. Whether it's personalized ads, targeted marketing, or even just those product suggestions you see online, this type of data analysis is everywhere.
So the Amazon effect isn't just about buying stuff online. It's about how businesses operate, how technology is used, even how we think about shopping. It's like a global phenomenon, right?
Absolutely. Amazon's influence extends far beyond one website. Their strategies have been emulated by retailers around the world. Think about the rise of e-commerce giants in other countries like Alibaba in China, Flipkart in India. They have their own unique characteristics, but they all bear a resemblance to the Amazon effect in their focus on customer experience, logistics, and technology.
It's almost like Amazon wrote the playbook for modern e-commerce, and the rest of the world is following suit.
In many ways, yes. They've raised the bar incredibly high, and it's forced businesses everywhere to adapt or risk being left behind.
So we've unpacked how Amazon revolutionized convenience, selection, and pricing. We've talked about their impact on supply chains, the rise of AI, and their global influence. It's a lot to process.
Indeed, and I think this raises an important question. Now that we understand the depth of the Amazon effect, how does that change our relationship with it?
Right. It's like ignorance was bliss when I thought Amazon was just a place to buy discount books.
Exactly. So the question becomes, how do we as consumers navigate this landscape? Do we embrace the convenience and efficiency, or do we become more conscious of the potential downsides, the impact on small businesses, the data privacy concerns, the potential for monopolies?
Those are some heavy questions.
And they're worth pondering because understanding the forces at play empowers us to make more informed decisions.
It's like suddenly seeing the Matrix. You can't unknow this stuff. So where do we go from here?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Knowledge is power. By understanding how the Amazon effect works, we're better equipped to navigate it on our own terms.
So it's not about boycotting Amazon or going off the grid entirely.
Not necessarily. It's about being mindful. Maybe you think twice before opting for that one-click order and consider supporting a local business instead. Or perhaps you're more aware of the data you're sharing and adjust your privacy settings accordingly.
It's about being a conscious consumer, making choices that align with our values.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe this awareness will even spark new innovations, new ways of doing business that challenge the status quo. The future of e-commerce is not written in stone.
Wow, that's actually pretty optimistic. That was heading down a bit of a rabbit hole there.
It's easy to get overwhelmed, but knowledge empowers us. It allows us to ask the right questions, demand better practices, and maybe even shape a future where convenience and ethics can coexist.
So what does this all mean for you, dear listener? It's time to take stock. Think about your own relationship with online shopping. How has the Amazon effect impacted your habits, your expectations, your choices?
And here's a final thought to leave you with. The Amazon effect highlights a fundamental shift in consumer behavior. It's not just about Amazon, it's about the expectations they've created, the technologies they've popularized, the ripple effects they've set in motion. This force, for better or worse, is shaping the future of how we live, work, and consume.
And that, my friends, is the Amazon effect. Make sure you're subscribed to the Deep Dive so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll be unpacking another fascinating topic. Until then, keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.